views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Hi, welcome. This is Dr. John DeMartini. This is one of the most amazing and inspiring shows that you can listen into. If you want to be on the edge of your seats, if you want to open up your heart, if you want to expand your mind, and you want to meet incredible people, stay tuned because you're just about to experience a transformative radio show that will change your life. And you're listening to the Dr. Pat Show that's coming up right next.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. Talk radio to thrive by. Powerful, inspiring, and coming to you live, bringing you stories of people like you and me, busting through and living life full out. Get ready to dare to wonder what your life would be like if you knew you could not fail. Wow, everyone. Oh, my gosh. It is so great to be connecting with all of you, and especially to have Sheer Alchemy with my co-host, Leslie Fonteyne, joining me here today. For those of you that may or may not know who this amazing woman is, you know, Leslie is somebody that I got to meet a number of years ago, and I so love how spirit shows up to put people together so that she and I get to take a journey together. I get to watch the amazing work that she's doing in the world, the power of her messages. And, you know, clearly there's a reason why Leslie is called a transformation catalyst. Now, what does that mean? Well, for me, a large part of my life I spent without intuition, without tapping into it. You know, I looked at my will, I looked at my ego, usually led the way. But what we know today through the work of Leslie is that her intuitive and energetic gifts are what helps people, all of us, live the lives we were truly born to manifest. You know, whether you're thinking today, my gosh, I'm afraid, let me tighten up, let me go to that scarcity, or abundance, whether you're feeling pain emotionally, how do you turn that into joy? Or how about the physical plane, which, you know, many of us have taken that journey, illness, how do we change it into health? But here's the thing. We get the Leslie Fonteyne experience and her Abundance Now events. Not only is she here on radio reaching tens and thousands of people, but beyond all of that, she travels, whether it's in Raleigh, Chicago, Reno, Seattle, Portland, Cincinnati, London, Sydney, Nashville. Her schedule is such that she places herself in front of all of you. Why? So that we can put legs on our dreams. That's today. Put legs on your dreams. Do you have a dream? Were you taught that dreams are okay to have? Well, get ready. Here we go. Leslie, it's great to have you here.
Oh, I am so excited. This is the way to kick off the new year. You know, when people talk about the new year, they talk goals and they talk success and prosperity. And, you know, this is probably about the point in the month where people start fizzling out, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Yes, it is, Leslie. I would say fizzle is putting it lightly. It's
and you know what? We're just not going to beat up on ourselves today.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, good. I'm going to be happy with the my newly founded 10 pounds.
We are going to be very happy.
Thank you. Let's talk about this for a minute. How are our lives driven by other people's concepts of who we are, who we should become, and how we should live our lives? How does that affect our ability to first create dreams and then even begin to bring those dreams to reality?
Oh, my gosh. It is probably the foundation of how we live our life. I think every one of us, if we told our story, we would tell it from the point of view of who we are, where we were raised, who raised us, what life was like, the concepts of money, the concepts of success, the values, the culture. You know, all of us have these things that go into the pot that make up that beautiful mix of who we are. And what no one helps us with, and I talk often about going through the funnel of school, and by the time you come out on the other end, you don't have any dreams anymore because you've been told to be practical, is that we find out that, we can't even find ourselves in that pot. We can't find ourselves in that beautiful stew, that you were sharing about. We find what everybody else thinks. And so much of my work is about helping people get back to their own truth.
Uh, Leslie, let's talk about truth for a minute. I think that sometimes I look at my own life and I think, my gosh, yeah, I'm right there. I totally get it. I think, those words, I get it or I got it. I don't know that they have really helped me along the way. They've really
Mm.
shut off the world of possibilities, right? How do
Yeah.
you or how have you helped people get to that place of truth?
Um, well, I think everybody knows me by now. We go deep into the wounds. And, that's what I wanted to talk about today
Yeah.
because, and we talk about this a lot on my shows, is that people are really afraid of the pain. They're afraid of the hurt. And what happens when we have a dream, if you were to connect with a dream you had, let's say when you were 10 or when you were 15 or 20 or 25, you remember it. And then there's a pain that comes over you and it hurts. And that pain is about finding out from your environment, from your school, from family, everything about why you couldn't have it, why it could not be, why it could not be real. And we drank that Kool-Aid because no one else gave us the other champagne, They only told us about practicality and suffering. And when I'm clearing out people's ancestral world and clearing up past lifetime work and old agreements, these are things we've accumulated, but no one showed us how to do that growing up. That wasn't part of our toolkit. We didn't learn, hey, this, what they say is real may not really be real. They're providing a perception. So when we talk about what we think about comes about, what we feel, and in our emotions is what we manifest. Think about the layers of that have to be addressed so that we can get back to the joy of who we are.
One of the things that I know that I have really battled, as well as many people, is the idea of having dreams and having a dream and then watching it fizzle away,
Yeah.
sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly, but fizzling no less. What are
Mm-hmm.
some of the dangers, or some of the things that take our dreams or have our dreams start to diminish and in some cases literally shut down, get smashed, go away?
Right. It's the funniest thing, just probably because I'm, with a loved one in the hospital right now. You know how an IV works, right?
Yeah, I do.
And an IV brings in all these things. It could bring in nutrients, it could bring in food, it could bring in painkillers, it can bring in, all kinds of medicines. That thing just comes in through you. Well, we need that IV for us. We need to feed ourselves with those things that sustain us. If a child or an adult even goes too long without something nurturing and feeding us, who we are, our dream, telling us, you've got this, you're so great, you're beautiful, you're amazing, you can do this, you are so smart, you're the most creative person I've ever met, you are such a stick to it kind of person. If we go too long without any kind of feedback or nurturing, we realize after 10 days, let's say, that we don't have the tools and maybe we can't make it happen tomorrow. We have to remember that some of these companies that we see or these stars that we meet that we think are overnight successes, they've worked like 5, 10, 15 years to become this so-called overnight success. Well, our dreams and the things that matter to us need that kind of sustenance. They need support from within us, but we haven't been taught that we matter enough and that we're beautiful and wonderful enough to hold on to that thing and to create it. After 10 days of no nurturing, no IV, we fizzle. We wear down and we go back to implementing other people's dreams, whether it's on the job or, in the family, or becoming codependent and taking care of everybody else because we don't have the sustenance to care for our own.
Mm. Leslie, we use the term dream a lot. I recall this very succinctly. I remember giving a workshop April 1st in 2004 called Live Your Biggest Dream. But yet, at the same time, I'm not really quite sure that we really get the sense of what a dream is and what a dream isn't. And, sometimes if we're not really sure of what it is, but we really just plunge ahead, it creates an effect sometimes we don't want. So what's a dream, and how do we distinguish between dream and let's just say it fantasy?
Well, we're blending a lot of things into this, okay? Because I can hear some things in your question that, maybe are coming from some people that are listening to this, and it's really a big part of this topic because it's part of the wounding. We have some people that we think go off half-cocked and off they go, and they just think this is great, and they've done 100 different dreams, and oh my God, what's the dream today? And there are a few elements that go into it. And then there are those of us who shut down completely because our whole lives we've been told we were silly, childish, foolish, not practical. Don't we know what things cost? Don't we know what the real world is like? Who do you think you are? And those people never get launched. They never get off the ground. So there's a blend here. We'll always fall. We'll always maybe make a mistake. Maybe we have to start over. If Edison did his light bulb dream 5,000 times, then why are we taking in someone else's view of our foolishness like we can't do it 5,000 times? So there's a lot of pieces to that dialogue, but a lot of it is what's fed into, what sustains us, what enables us, and that's why I love working with the masters, the archangels, and stepping into these things. It's interesting how it sorts it all out, how it makes clear when our ego's ahead, when our fear is behind, what's driving us, who's putting us down. It just makes it clear.
Yeah, I mean, this is really for those out there listening to the show and you're thinking, this is the new year. This is the year. This is the year for accelerated expansion. Yeah, but I think it's for that. I think it's for Leslie and I think it's for Pat, but I'm not really sure it's for me. We're going to take a short break when we come back. How about hope and happiness? Is this something we can get excited about? And what is it about the world real? How many times has somebody said to you, dude, just get real? When we come back, Leslie's going to take this on and tell us, what does a dream look like? What are some of the qualities of a dream? And how can we fully step in to the dream of our lives? Let's take a short break, everyone. We'll be right back.
Every time that I look in the mirror, all these lines in my face getting clearer. The past is gone.
Almost everyone at some time in their lives ask themselves, what am I? Most of our questions are ego-generated and simply don't address the problem of our false self. It's time to relax your ego and embody your soul. Dr. Dan Cohen, neurologist, inventor, and author, has created tools to awaken, a new way to transform from who you thought you were into what you truly are. Visit toolstoawaken.com today.
Get ready to experience Truth Talk Radio with host Deb Acker. Tune in to Truth Talk Radio each Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific on TransformationTalkRadio.com to illuminate the truth in your daily life as you experience life, love, and abundance from a whole new perspective. This hit show will leave you feeling lighter and bring you into a place of infinite possibilities every day in every way. Visit TruthTalkRadioshow.com for upcoming transformative topics and guests.
The life you're dreaming of is waiting for you to say yes. Together, we can create a powerful, love-centered world where business is not a competition, but a community of highly conscious individuals making a positive impact in their own lives and the lives of others. Fun, flexible, fabulous. You make the rules. We offer the tools. Connect with Shelley today to learn more at Live, Love, Earn with Shelley. That's SHELLEY.com. Holistic Medical Center is where you find it all. A healthy space with doctors who care, see, and listen to the whole you. Hi, this is Dr. Darvish. If you have not found an answer to your chronic symptoms, you will find answers here at Holistic Medical Center. Our doctors find the root cause of your symptoms and guide your body towards healing naturally. We transform lives from within. Visit drdarvish.com or call 425-451-0404.
Naturopathic doctor, founder of the Martha's Vineyard Holistic Retreat, and author of the New York Times bestseller 21 Pounds in 21 Days, Dr. Ronnie DeLuce has helped tens of thousands of people, including celebrities and athletes, with her message of lifestyle change. Now Dr. Ronnie DeLuce wants to help you. You too can be saved. Email Dr. Ronnie DeLuce at info@ronniedeluceonradio.com and visit mvholisticretreat.com. Dr. Ronnie DeLuce, your partner in wellness.
Wow. I'm telling you, I wonder. That I love that song, Benny. Thank you so much for playing that. You know, that has been one of my all-time super duper favorite songs. And, you know, there's a note that gets hit in that song that really accentuates the whole idea of dreaming. It's a crazy note, and I'm sure Benny's going to play it for us when we get back. But it's a question mark around each and every one of us today. Leslie Fonteyne, put legs on your dreams. Joining me here today because this is an important message. Now, here's what we want to say. For those of you out there, if you're sitting and you're thinking, I don't know if I have a dream, or maybe my dream is stuck, or I don't know. If you're like sitting there and you're not crystal clear, marching ahead at full stream, taking the limits off of the spirit of the universe, take down this number and give us a call. 1-800-930-2819. Leslie will help clear away, well, my word, the sludge. 1-800-930-2819. Let us get the flow in the go. Leslie, how can people find out more about you? I mentioned your schedule. Please tell folks how they can find out more about you and schedule time with you, because sometimes,
absolutely,
yeah, we need help.
All righty. Well, first of all, I want to click to something that you talked about, which was, you know, when we don't know what we want. That is my expertise, Pat. I am great with the I don't knows. That's my deal, because what is going on there is a lot of clearing work, a lot of clarity work that I work with people to help find out the yes, I do know who I am. It's a beautiful recovery process I'd love to help people with. So you can reach me at 678-665-3366. That's 678-665-3366. You can also write me at lesliefontaine.com, LeslieFonteyne.com. You'll see a way to send me an email that way and kind of get a sense of what I do. But it's a real honor to work with people to clear the wounds, to clear the view of reality, and skew it in a whole new, wonderful, fantastic direction.
I love it. And, you know, for those of you out there, please, you know, I love what Leslie has brought forth and is bringing forth. And, you know, Leslie, you have worked with our listeners. They've called into your show. I have said this time and time again. They are the best listeners on the planet. And so today's show is for those folks out there, right, that want to get moving at an accelerated pace.
Yeah. Well, we want to get moving at an accelerated pace, but we also want to know what's been blocking us over and over again. You know, I love my line, same energy, different outfit. You know, why does stuff come up over and over in a certain way? And it's a block of a wound, you know, and until you move that boulder's still there. And it's not your fault. You know, this is not about, gee, why aren't you motivated? Why don't you stick to the plan? Why don't you just implement these steps and you'll reach your goal? And that's the group of people I work with, because they're tired of that. This is about getting to the core of the block, removing the block, changing your agreements with people, releasing those things in your life that take up way too much of your energy so that you can focus on you. But, I've talked about the fact that when you get to your plan and you get to your dream, there is a pain associated with it because it's almost like that part of you got stolen from you. We talk about stolen childhoods. Kids probably like me, like you, we had to grow up way too fast in our families, and that was a stolen childhood, or someone violated us or harmed us. We have stolen dreams. So we're talking about coming back to this and resuscitating it. And don't expect yourself to be perfect the first time out the gate. It's like learning a new language is sort of blubbering away, right? You are going to get good at this, but, you have to let yourself start. It's like giving yourself permission and not waiting for someone outside you to give it to you.
Yeah. I want to say to folks out there is that, and maybe Leslie, this is something you can talk about. When I go back to a point in time, 2001, 2, and 3, the idea of crust busting was born, and it was born because I felt like I was so crusted over I couldn't move. All of the things people told me I should be doing, I didn't want to do, but I didn't know where to go. I just knew I didn't want to do that. And I created a business card, and on the back of it, I wrote that I wanted to reach 1 million people in 2003 and help them live life full out. And I had no idea this is what was going to show up. Mm-hmm. How can we help people take the hurt that we have and cultivate from that, or create from that, an energy that will help them? Because I didn't have it. I just knew that I wanted to help people, but I was in pain at the same time, right?
Right. Yeah, you were, and we are. And, it's constantly evolving. You know how it is when, you're peeling the onion. You clear one level and then you go to a deeper level. But each gift of that deeper level is this new awareness and this new release of energy to step into more. And that's what I want our listeners to understand, is that, we don't coddle the wound. We don't massage it. We don't hold on to it. Some of us have made a companion of our wound because it allows us to stay safe, stay where we are, the devil we know versus the one we don't. And so when we begin to turn that ship and shift our energy and go, all right, I'm going to allow it, and I'm going to let go of everything in my life that's interfering with who I am right now, whatever surfaces to me. And what you're going to notice is things will come to you at this level. They'll show up at where you were. So when you stepped into that vision of yours to create the radio, it was everything that presented at that point. But you're 10 years later, more, and more things have presented each year. It's each time you've cleared. And it's going to be the same for our listeners. So first we say yes, and we step into it. And we allow what comes to us to shift. So it may be something in your home. It may be something on your job. It may be to carve out a little time for yourself. It may be to release some people and some energies that no longer serve you. So whatever's coming to you today, don't judge it. Just go, okay, that's it. That's what I need to release. And then, a little later in the show, we're going to bring in some of these powerhouse light beings to help us, because I really want people to understand what a great support team they have when they step into that dream and they find out they're truly not alone.
I love this. For those of you out there, are you ready? Are you ready to go? Are you ready to get started? And maybe if you started, do you want to put some new fuel, some new energy? Get help from the ascended masters, move things going, manifest, and not sit and wait for something else to happen. Do you want to get some help today? I know that it was the hardest thing on the planet for me to say, boy, do I need a little help. But here's what I want to say. Leslie is here. We're here. We're going to take your calls, so much so that, boy, the energy of accelerated expansiveness is in the air. How would you like to have it in your life? 1-800-930-2819. 1-800-930-2819. Give us a call. Leslie, I want to ask you a question. What do you think the greatest challenge is for folks to launch a dream?
I would say that they really have the power to change their current circumstances, whatever they are. And the reason is that, in the third dimension, which is what we're in, everything is based on action. It's physical action. People want to see you make a list. People want to see you show up for work. People want to see you, do stuff. That makes them feel productive. That makes them feel successful, all that stuff. There's a lot of ego-driven stuff at that phase. There's a lot of fear. Fear used to motivate me. So when you're looking at shifting into this dream of yours, which is coming like for you, special for you because of who you are, okay? You want to shift first in your energy field, in your thoughts, and in your feelings about it, and really let yourself luxuriate in that. Then as you do it, when the thoughts and ideas come, acknowledge it, write it down. Pay attention to what's coming to you. Don't dismiss it. We have patterns in place where we have learned to dismiss ourselves, to put ourselves down, to tell us what we can't do, to tell us what's not practical and what's not real. I want you to set those aside, suspend that for a period, and write down what's coming to you. It matters. And then you can let it incubate. And then the next phase will be, do I need to begin to take action? What is in the way? So pay attention to what shows up. Who's in the way? What thoughts are in the way? What in my life is preventing me from stepping into this? Pay attention to that. See, this is where we get bogged down and we stop and we tell ourselves it's not possible. This is the crucible. This is the moment that we want to talk about. This place right there, which is where most of us quit.
Wow. Yeah, this is certainly not the time for quitting. This is certainly the time for a resounding yes. Yes on your life. Yes on your greater good. Yes on your contribution to the world. And yes on your dream. We're going to take a short break, everyone. We will be right back with Leslie Fonteyne. Yeah, let's put legs on our dreams. Let's do it. Because after you do that, Leslie's going to tell us what happens next. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Transformation Talk Radio is dedicated to the education and awareness of Lyme disease.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Lyme Talk Radio. I'm Dr. Pat, joined here by
Dr. Nusheen Darvish.
Dr. Pat Basili and Dr. Nusheen Darvish will be bringing the most innovative, groundbreaking information, research, treatment innovations, and stories from those it affects every day.
I'm so excited to be talking about this.
We have so much to share.
Dr. Darvish and I are planning to do is connect the dots.
People suffering with all sorts of chronic diseases, it's time. It is time for them to transform.
Tune into Lyme Talk Radio and help keep our mission strong.
For the loyal listeners out there that have been listening to this incredible show on Lyme disease, we are not going to let you down. We're going to come through stronger and enrich the platform for Lyme disease awareness through Lyme Talk Radio. The message will continue, the conversations will become stronger, and the healing epic.
The 24th Annual WOW Conference, United We Change the World, is February 11th through the 15th. Featured guests are Dr. Christine Page on Creative Dragon Energy. Dr. Susan Shumsky will show you how to awaken your third eye. And Mira Kelly will present a 2-day intensive workshop on Beyond Past Lives. Join WOW for intimate, experiential, life-changing workshops and evening presentations that will inspire you. You can choose 2 half-day workshops and receive 1 half-day workshop for free through December 31st. Join a supportive community of women on their journey to discover and develop their passions and purpose in life. Women of Wisdom is the place to be. This February 11th through the 15th. Go to thewowconference.org. That's the WOW conference.org to discover all the diverse offerings WOW has to offer you.
Tune in to Sheer Alchemy with Leslie Fonteyne on TransformationTalkRadio.com and get ready to stir up your passions, identify your blocks, and shift into an entirely new existence. Leslie Fonteyne is a transformation catalyst and clairvoyant who uses her intuitive and energetic gifts to catapult listeners into living the life they were born to live. Whether it's shifting from scarcity to abundance, from emotional pain into joy, or from illness into health, Leslie will help you step into the true essence and power of all that you are with the help of the Ascended Masters and Archangels. You will not be the same. Visit TransformationTalkRadio.com for show dates and times and LeslieFontaine.com to say yes to explosive abundance.
Oh boy, Benny, you are like on it now. Well, thank you all for tuning us in and turning us on. It's so great to have Leslie Fonteyne joining me here today. It's a big conversation. It's a big conversation. You know, what does it mean to put legs on your dreams? First of all, I want to make sure everybody knows how to find out more about Leslie. You can go to lesliefontaine.com, and it's LeslieFonteyne.com, or just Google sheer alchemy, and boom, you will get right to her. And, you know, part of this is in watching what happens when someone like Leslie looks at her own dream, activates it, figures out what gets in the way, and then shares that with all of us. Because that's what accelerated expansiveness is all about. It's about getting to the place where we can ask someone like Leslie for help and zip along and get things done. Leslie, it's so great to have you here. This is a great topic for this time of year. Can I ask you, what is it about this topic that came to you personally as a message to give to the listeners? What have you been picking up? Because I know you're connecting with everybody.
Well, you know, this has been a theme that I have had for some time, because this is part of the message sort of that's been missed out of, you know, law of attraction, because there's a lot of people that are very, very sensitive, especially in the spiritual community. I know you know that. Yeah. People that have been wounded, people that have had experiences in life that have really been tough. And so, you know, they've almost lost their boundaries. They've lost their sense of their own identity. And, you know, I was someone who had to grow up very fast, but I was also very sensitive. I wasn't, you know, someone that was a push, go-getter type, but I could be extremely practical and make your dreams happen. So I'm very good at that. But when it came to my own, it was very hard to find any kind of confidence to make it happen. And so, you know, when we go deep into the wounds, what I find is some people don't want to acknowledge the wounds, but you have to see them. You have to know what they are. And then you have to decide, are you ready to let them go? What's frightening about releasing wounds is that it opens up a whole new horizon of what to step into. There's a combination of a giddy feeling, a stepping off the cliff, oh my God, will I be all right on the other side? Will someone catch me? What if I can't support myself? So many, many people are heavily messaged with what won't support them. And when we shift that energy to what will, and that source, the light beings, the ministering spirits, the archangels are all on your side, all on your team. And it's not about how aggressive you are. It's about how wonderful you are and that you're here on purpose. And that's what I'm about. And I have seen this kind of shift happen for people so much, where it's not just powering it out despite the pain, it's healing the pain and becoming all that we are.
Yeah. You know, look, part of what we think about in the world is, and this is really something I would absolutely love for you to talk about. You know, we think we have to play small, especially in our dreams. You know, we have this idea that it's not okay, Leslie. It's not okay for me to look at something that one might call a lofty dream. How does how does the energy of that actually affect our dreams being manifested? Can you talk about that? Can you talk about the energy that we have when we're starting to articulate and then cultivate the idea?
Right. It happens within a millisecond. When you have a thought, an idea, or a dream, and within a millisecond you get a critical voice, a something telling you, how are you going to do that? Where are you going to get the money for that? Who's going to support you? It's not practical. How are you going to do that when you work 12 hours a day and then you have to come home and feed the kids and take care of this and take care of that? There's that harshness. Do you hear it already? There's a harsh voice that is coming in and telling you everything that won't work, everything that's not possible. And it's as if your dream is a denial of those facts. And that's fine. You have chosen to have children and you have chosen to be on the planet at this time. But it denies the fact that you have any power to shift things. And that's what I'm about, is restoring the power back to us so that we begin to step onto that path. So I know you know what this is like, Pat, where you had a very big dream, back when you were beginning this whole concept of the radio show. So, and it's like, well, gosh, how's that going to happen? Where's it going to come from? But most of us will get a big dream like that, and quickly those voices come in that tell us, you're ridiculous. That's so out there. You are in Fantasyland. What the heck are you thinking? And so to hold on to that and go, you know what, I'm going to hold this thing precious. I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm going to let it kind of cultivate and grow and see what can happen. But then I'm going to realize that I am at choice and I can bring in these powerful light beings to help me, and realize that I'm going to get ideas of what I could do. When you think of Steve Jobs and you think about how he took that class on calligraphy and he wasn't really fully enrolled in the university and that's all he cared about, something guided him to that allowed him to think about fonts. Well, you have crazy things like that coming to your minds, and I'm talking to the listeners. And somebody in your life is going, well, what the heck are you going to do with that? You can't do that. What do they know? So the whole point is coming to the source of your own idea, holding it, and releasing any of these negative voices that are telling you what you can't be, can't do, can't have. That's why you really need the support team around you so that you can step into it. But we have to identify that. And the next thing is we're loyal to those negative voices, believe it or not, because often they came from loved ones whom we want to please and we want their love. We will never reject our loved ones. We will always love them. But we will let go of the negative energies that they carried. They did the best they could, but you don't need to be a fertile field for that. You're going to create your own beautiful garden.
Yeah. This is really, for me, looking at this, and you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right about, the idea of sitting down and getting all crazy about how's it going to happen. And then, Leslie, then all of a sudden something happens. Like I shared, this story with the listeners not too long ago about the fact that 2 years ago, our programmers disappeared. And, when you're sitting in the middle of, oh my gosh, programmers disappeared, you're thinking, your ego is thinking, you're getting all scared. And then all of a sudden, a gentleman from Poland shows up out of nowhere, so to speak, because Jessica put it out there. And then all of a sudden now you have somebody that's, pretty much saying, if I was your programmer, I would have disappeared because what you're asking them to do cannot be done. And he said, we're going to start over. We're going to build it from scratch and we're going to build it good. I did not have that in my dream. How does one explain that? Is that the help from my ascended masters, our light beings?
Well, I like how you started, the show, which is, we ask for these things and it comes in a certain kind of package. I'm sure there were a lot of lessons that went along with, the prior regime that you had and the disappearance, which may have been that you desired a change. And then the change that came in that was a bigger bucket than you thought it had to be. And then you find out, oh my gosh, I've got to dream even bigger. I've got to have a bigger container. This is larger than I thought it would be. This is a whole new dimension. dimension. It's a whole new level. And you've mastered this in many ways. You've allowed yourself to go there anyway, where, a lot of people, a lot of us are like going, well, I'm not sure I can. So, there's all these parts of us that have desired stuff. And I love how you brought that up, because, we need to understand that when we've had this really gargantuan, amazing dream and it's never left us, some of us have had a dream for 20, 30, 40 years. It's been there, doesn't go away. My friends, you are here on purpose. Your soul chose to come at this time on purpose, and it is yours to manifest. So start. And starting is with the intention. Starting is with your energy. Starting is with releasing any interferences. And as I've talked on different shows about this, we have trouble releasing the interferences because we've made friends with them, and we're afraid that from a security standpoint, we won't know what's on the other side if we let them go. So this is the work I do, Pat. This is the part I help people through. And it is worth it. This is where the healing is. This is where the shifting is. Because remember, ultimately, this life isn't just about what you're doing and achieving and kudos and success and all this stuff. This is about raising your vibration. This is about becoming a light in the world. Everywhere you go, the plane seat you sit in, the person next to you, the job you take, ultimately becomes about sharing your vibration. And you are going to be amazed how quickly you create.
I love this. When we come back, we're going to talk about why we are so good at helping other people with their dreams, but not our own. And how can we be more aware of when solutions are showing up? And yet at the same time, we don't really see them as solutions. What is this idea of being awake to the messaging? Stay tuned, everybody. Leslie Fonteyne, we'll be right back.
How confident do you feel about your retirement? Ask Ameriprise financial advisor Jeff Packman about the exclusive Confident Retirement Approach. Together, you and Jeff can break down retirement planning step by step to get to the real answers you need. Call Jeff Packman, financial advisor, today at 425-453-0272. Office is located at 601 108th Avenue Northeast, Suite 1800 in Bellevue, Washington, 98004. The Confident Retirement Approach is not a guarantee of future financial results. Investment advisory products and services are made available through Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, a registered investment advisor. Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member of FINRA and SIPC.
You got attitude? Keys to the rescue. Adjust your attitude with Keys Clear Protein Waters. So refreshing. Just a few sips of Keys will give you a whole new outlook, thanks to 22 grams of the happiest protein on earth. Tongue-tingling tasty without the guilt of naughty or nasty ingredients. If that doesn't put a smile on your face, maybe you need to drink too. Put a little woohoo in your attitude with Keys Protein Water. On Amazon or at Keys, Kees, please.com.
Sky Siegel co-hosts one of today's most popular psychic shows, Angels and Answers, with Artie Hoffman, as she communicates healing messages from the spirit world. These messages can be astounding, enlightening, and life-changing. Born with the God-given talent of inner guidance and the amazing ability to heal, Sky has healed thousands of people. Schedule a reading with Sky now. Call 908-500-1474 and visit skyofangels.com.
Has asthma or allergies got you singing the raspy blues? Allergy and Asthma Networks is the nation's premier nonprofit patient-centered network of doctors, caregivers, patients, and healthcare professionals who are dedicated to ending death and suffering due to asthma, allergies, and related conditions. Join President and CEO Tanya Winders each month on the Dr. Pat Show to learn more, and visit allergyasthmanetwork.org today. Breathe better together with Allergy and Asthma Network.
Hey everybody, this is Dr. Pat. Have you ever tried maca? Well, maca is a root vegetable that grows at altitudes above 13,000 feet in the Andes Mountains. As the family-run company of true maca specialist. The maca team's mission is to provide you with fresh, organic, premium quality maca products at a fair price. And they are delicious. One of the most common questions they get is from men and women who want to know more about using maca for fertility. Maca works on the endocrine system to balance hormones in both men and women. Scientific studies have found that using black maca boosts sperm count in men, and women given maca respond with increased regularity in cycles and easier ovulation. Wow. To learn more and read stories from couples who have reported success with maca, visit themacateam.com and check out the black maca. That's themacateam.com. Hey, everybody, welcome back. Leslie Fonteyne is in the house. And again, if you want to work with Leslie, if you want to get really clear about accelerated abundance, speak with her, attend her workshops or events, you can go to lesliefontaine.com. It's LeslieFonteyne.com. You can certainly email her, Leslie at lesliefontaine.com. And for many of you, you're thinking, I really want to work one-on-one. Leslie, please give out your phone number again, if you don't mind.
Absolutely. 678-665-3366.
Well, here we go. Punchline for this, and big conversation, a lot of things today. A lot, I don't know about you, but, for me, Leslie, I've often thought I want an easy button for my dream, if you don't mind, because I help other people with their dreams. And boy, that seems pretty easy. But man, I am not really good at my own. What the heck am I going to do with that?
Oh my, well that's the essence of this whole discussion, isn't it? It's going into our own truth, and it's kind of like, people loving to fix other people but, not work on themselves. And so this is the same, I had this thought, which is that when we associate our dream with our truth, why does it feel so sad? And so most of us don't want to go to this place. We think something's wrong because everyone's fed us the line that we've got to be positive and not say anything negative. And I get so many clients who go, no, I really love them and it's all, it's all good. And I go, forget the cover up. We're going to the essence of what's going on, what the block is, because if we're true, then we're going to clear that thing out and get it out of our way. So getting to our own dreams is about clearing out the refuse in the way. And, we came through our families for a reason. I know you've found this, Pat, but everything that you clear, everything that I clear, I do it for me. I do it for a lot of people. I do it for the world. And so that's your gift. So start looking at these blocks and these interferences as something that when you clear it, it will be so good for you, for your children, your grandchildren, the people at work, those that watch you. And maybe they're not going to be supporting you on the sidelines yet, but after a while they're going to say, how did you do that? How did you create that? How did you make that happen? And you're going to tell a story that's not going to be all rah-rah bells and whistles. You're going to share what you came through to step into this gift and how grateful you are for all that you manifested and all that you learned.
This is really kind of the next part of this, and it has to do with acceleration. We went out and we asked people, what is the energy that you're feeling? What is it that you see for 2016? Across the board, acceleration, and expansiveness. And I refer to it as an energy. Of course, the work you do is around abundance. How do we connect the dots between a dream and an abundant dream? Meaning, how do we accept for ourselves, and how do we create from our dream the abundance we truly want?
Well, we want to look at our soil. We want to look at what we're planting. We want to look at whether we nurture ourselves and honor ourselves. And I talk often about 30 seconds being a very long time, a minute, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. So think about holding an energy of your dream, of your essence for that long. And it can feel like torture. So you want to look at your soil right now, and if it's parched and you don't water it and there are no nutrients, say, why am I starving myself? Why am I not giving myself these things? And then you're going to hear some things that need to be cleared out, that you're done with. Remember, whatever's presenting today, your soul is saying, we don't need this anymore. We're done. So take this moment as a gift. Don't be horrified to the point that you do nothing and go put the pillow over your head and don't come out for a day. What you want to do is take a look at this thing and go, am I done? I don't know what's on the other side of saying I'm done, but I'm going to step into it, and just see yourself stepping over the transom into the light and the joy of what you're creating. This is all in your mind, all in your soil, all in your heart. And then what's going to follow are some things to do, some steps. It may be you need body healing, emotional healing, whatever it is. You may need a session with me to clear your energy. Or it may be that an idea of action comes to you. Make this the day that you begin to release any interference that gets in your way.
Leslie, I remember not too long ago, actually, I had been thinking about, how can we do more? How can we help more? How can we reach more? And my mom, who passed away when I was 6, her face literally showed up. Now, I was a bit shocked. But is there a way for us to connect with our loved ones who have made their transition to get some help? And thank you for today's show. Amazing.
Absolutely. We can. Sometimes they need to get on with their own path. And sometimes we have ones that we really want to bring in. And I worked with a client last night who, she has a loved one that passed early. And, he's always there wanting to be supportive of her. So, you can choose to do that. You can choose to invite them in, feel them. Sometimes we do need to let them go. So I'm not always big on, bringing that in, unless in your case, for example, and in this case of the client, it's someone who's really supportive and loving and just really being present, and yours sounds so wonderful.
Yeah. Wow. What a great show, Leslie. I want to just ask you a couple of things here. And thank you so much for doing this show today. It's very, very powerful for me and, of course, for our listeners. Here's the question. As we move along, how do we keep our dream fueled? And what might your personal message be for us around that?
I would like our listeners to pick some ascended masters and archangels to invite into their morning, into their day, 2 or 3 times a day, into places that you maybe have never considered it. I want you to feel what that is like. Your vibration will shift and your energy will shift, and what's happening around you will shift. I want you to try that. My personal message is that you are not alone, and you can step into what you were meant to be, do, and have. You can. You do not have to be Superwoman. You don't have to be famous, but you can create these things each and every day.
Wow. Thank you so much, Leslie. Thank you all for tuning us in, turning us on. One more time, Leslie, what's the phone number for the folks that would love to work with you directly?
Excellent. The number is 678-665-3366, and you can write me at lesliefontaine.com.
Wow. Thank you so much. Hey, everybody, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.